Is proud to bring you Chassa football on CCSN. It's the final week of the regular season as Smoky Hill hosts number 2, Cherry Creek. And we welcome you into the Stutler Bowl alongside Matthew Anderson, Bedford Paris. And Matthew, we're going to take a look at the Centennial League standings.
That we are, Ben. We'll start with the Chassa rankings. Cherry Creek moving up in the polls. They dropped down to 3 behind Legend. Legend, they haven't had a very strong schedule. They haven't, they've done so well in all of their games, but they just haven't had teams to go against that were particularly strong. So although Cherry Creek actually has one more loss than Legend, they've moved up. Valor's number 1, Valor's always up there. Pomona at number 8 means there's a chance Cherry Creek Pomona semifinal could be possible when they release
3 years in a row?
That would be remarkable, Ben, and it would be a pleasure to cover that, wouldn't it? So, Johnny, take us to the Centennial League standings. Wonderful. A very interesting scenario we have here. We have 2 teams at 4-1. Cherry Creek set to play tonight. If Cherry Creek ties 4-1 for all 3, Grandview, Arapahoe, and Cherry Creek, we have a really interesting scenario in the league championship. And that is, namely, that all 3 teams would have a tie league record of 4-1, which would mean it would go to the head-to-head battle. The interesting thing, each team has beat one of the other teams and lost to one of the other teams, meaning the head-to-head battle would be even. And it's up to the Centennial League commissioner, but as it stands, it seems like all 3 teams will be co-champions.
And what it seems like is that, as of right now, Grandview leads in some type of tiebreaker scenario, so they're the automatic qualifier. But the automatic qualifier in the postseason doesn't do anything to your seeding. It just means, hey, you're the league champion-ish, and you get to be in the postseason. But all three of these teams are inside of that top 10 and the top 10 of the RPI and the Max Preps poll, all the things that matter to get into the postseason. So all 3 of them will still make the playoffs. One of the other factors in making the postseason is the Chassa RPI. Matthew, tell us about it.
The Chassa RPI, it's a really interesting statistical way to rank all of the teams based off of not only their wins, but the strength of their schedule and the strength of their opponent's schedule. It's a statistical technique, and that's really all it is. I don't have much more to say on it than that, because it's just 1/4 of the ways that we rank the teams heading into the playoffs. And, of course, then those rankings don't always matter that much for seeding, because they play with the seeds to adjust matchups that they want to see in the playoffs. Bottom line is, you have these 10 teams on your RPI, these 10 teams with these RPI. If Cherry Creek wins tonight, their RPI will go up. So these 10 teams are the majority of those teams are probably going to end up in the playoffs.
As we take a look down at the field, we see the coin toss. We have some honorary captains tonight for Military Appreciation Night. The man in the black Army jacket on the left side of your screen, that's Jack Saxon Shots, Cherry Creek's longtime photographer. With more on him, we send it down to Reagan Kanabi on the sideline. Reagan.
Thanks, Ben. Now, as you can see behind me, out there as an honorary captain tonight during the coin toss is Jack Eberhardt. Now, he's a longtime Cherry Creek photographer. We see him at almost every Creek sporting event. Now, he served as a combat medic in the United States Army during the Vietnam War, and we are just so grateful to have him here tonight. And to all you veterans watching at home, thank you for your service. Back up to you, Ben.
Reagan, thank you. It is indeed Military Appreciation Night tonight at the Stutler Bowl, hosted by Smoky Hill High School, who is the home team tonight. We have coaches wearing some camouflage. We'll hear more about that later. And we got Reagan loud and clear tonight, so we'll be hearing much more from her as the night rolls on. We're just about ready for kickoff. Teams are about to hit the field. Matthew and I will take a quick break, then we'll be back here on CCSN. And back with Matthew Anderson inside the Stutler Boy Bedford Paris, getting ready for the final week of the Chassa regular season, number 2 Cherry Creek, hosted by Smoky Hill. Matthew, it's one of our favorite scenarios that happens usually once a year between Overland and Smoky Hill, because between those two schools and Cherry Creek, we all share a home stadium here at the Stutler Bowl with the other 3 district schools down at Legacy Stadium. So once in a while, Cherry Creek's on their own campus, and they're the away team. And
it's fun for us, Ben, because, of course, we're on the same side as the student section for once, and we get the energy more over here. I'm going to run to troubleshoot this window here with the coaches on the other side of the booth. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Matthew. So here we go, Smoky Hill to kick off to Cherry Creek to begin our game. Week 10, Cherry Creek enters at 7-2. Smoky Hill 4-6. And the final week of the regular season is underway here from the Stutler Bowl as it bounces and O'Day picks up. He gets to the 25, moves to his left, to the 30. O'Day to the 40. O'Day crosses midfield. Kai O'Day's got no one in his way, and he's going to make it all the way to the end zone on the opening kickoff. Touchdown, Bruins! It's the first time Cherry Creek has run back a kick for a touchdown this season, and they're on the board first like it was nothing.
Ben, I can confidently say that's not how I expected tonight's game to start out. Although, of course, if it was going to be anybody on this field, it would be Kai O'Day. He's just about the fastest man in Colorado, and he's got the vision too, right? So, yeah, something quite unexpected to score in 14 seconds. We have it here. And it's going to put Cherry Creek up to an early lead.
Bowden, the leg page's extra point is up and good. And just like that, Cherry Creek's got a 7-0 lead, 14 seconds into the game.
It's USA out here in the stadium tonight. That means Cherry Creek's fans are wearing red, white, and blue. Of course, it's Veterans Night. Just a nice way to, again, say thank you to our veterans. Right, Ben? Always one of the more fun nights of the year, wouldn't you say?
It is, and I said in the pregame, I love all the coaches' camouflage, and I like these Under Armour camouflage sweatshirts. I like the style. It's a nice style. So now Bowden, the leg page, will get ready to kick off to the Buffaloes after Kai O'Day returned the opening kickoff for a score, and it's going to be through the end zone and a touchback. So Smoky Hill will take over at the 20-yard line, and they, led by quarterback Tyleek Bowers, are ready to hit the field on offense. So on 1st and 10 from the 20, Bowers in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to his running back, and there'll be a short gain on the play. A nice, just about 5-yard pickup will bring up 2nd down for the Buffaloes.
And Ben, Smoky Hill, running is definitely one of their strengths. But another thing you're going to see tonight, a lot of deep passing, and really in particular to one target. He's going to stick out there when you watch the field because he's just about the tallest guy out there. I think he's like 6'5", 6'6". Number 15, Anthony Harris Jr. Watch out for him tonight.
They go to Haywood again, keep it on the ground for another short gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
And one thing they often like to do in these 3rd down situations, put it out to a screen, right? You have to have a passing game even if you don't have, the greatest number of targets in the Centennial League. Smoky Hill's roster, just isn't particularly deep. And one way they get access to that passing game is screen passes on third downs. Of course, more likely to see a run here.
3rd and 2, Bowers keeps it himself, and he's going to pick up enough for the first down. So move the chains, and a new set of downs as they get up to the 32-yard line. Smoky Hill's offense averages just about 100 yards per game in the air, 156 on the ground, and they're looking to pass here. It's intercepted by Blake Purchase, and a pick 6, touchdown Bruins. Just 3 plays now, 4 from scrimmage. The Bruins have not had the ball yet on offense, and they have 2 scores.
I'd like to know a statistic of how frequently that happens.
Well, let me present to you the Miles Purchase game our sophomore year. 10:08, and the Bruins up 2 scores. Extra point is up and good. Less than 2 minutes into the contest, it is 14-0. So as Bowden on the leg page gets ready to kick off for the 2nd time tonight. This one into the end zone as well. It is another touchback. 10:08 left to go in quarter number 1 as the Smoky Hill offense gets ready to hit the field after the pick 6 on the previous play. So Bowers and the offense back out there as they get ready for their 2nd drive. So they keep on the ground. Again, this one another short gain by Haywood, his now 3rd carry of the evening rather. Bring up 2nd and 9 after the 1-yard gain. As back in the shotgun is Smoky Hill. Bowers looking to throw. Comes to the near side, and it is complete to Anthony Harris Jr. Just shy of the 30-yard line, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
And, Ben, Anthony Harris Jr. is going to be their bread and butter in the pass. He is so tall that he's able to just create a lot of vertical separation, establish a big zone to be targeted in, and that's such a valuable asset, right? I mean, just the ability to just end up in the pass so that you're not being as predictable in the run, which we've seen already. The running game is the majority of Smoky Hill's offensive game.
Brings up 3rd and 1. They converted on their first time around, and they're going to do it the same way as Bowers takes it himself, and Smoky Hill will convert. So they cross the 35, now up to the 36-yard line, and give them a new set of downs. As Bowers averages just about 25 yards per gain on the on yards per gain on the ground rather, and he's kept it both times on third down so far here tonight. So they keep it on the ground again. It's Haywood, and this time it will be about a 2 or 3 yard gain. Smoky Hill's been loving the run on first down.
I mean, they're a team that hasn't really built out their risky play set. They kind of run their offense a bit like how, you should run your Madden offense, which is kind of a silly way of thinking about it, but it's a little predictable in terms of generally running on first down and then opening up to a run or pass on second and then generally a pass on third down.
In the shotgun once again. That's the only formation we've seen from the Buffaloes so far tonight. And we have a flag as it looks like the play clock hit 0 and delay a game will indeed be the call. So back them up to 2nd and 12 after the delay of game call. As we approach the 8-minute mark in quarter number 1, Bruins offense yet to hit the field, yet they're up 2 scores. As the Smoky Hill offense gets ready for 2nd and 12 from the 34-yard line. As Haywood to the left of Bowers, who's in the shotgun. And they give it to Haywood on the ground. And he'll get just about a 5-yard gain to earn back that penalty yardage. And 3rd and long coming up for Smoky Hill. Sixth play of the drive coming up. It is a 3rd and 7. 2 for 2 on third down so far tonight for Smoky Hill. Here's Bowers. Looking to throw, looks to his left, gonna quickly throw left, and it's intercepted again! Two drives on offense, 2 interceptions, and this time it looks to be Marte Russell.
And Ben, I'm going to go out on a limb and say number 7 there was not the intended, or rather the primary receiver as designed by the play. Just based off of a little bit of communication that happened after the play.
So Cherry Creek's offense will begin their first drive of the game on the 48-yard line. So Russell and Purchase with interceptions on the defense for the Bruins. As Christian Hammond out there to pass, has gone around 2 tacklers, but he's finally brought down and sacked by Caleb Grimble.
And Coach Logan's going to come out here because what he just saw on that play was they sent their guys out, in particular their right tackle out to block in the field, and there was no one around. He's realized now that he's made a small miscalculation in terms of how Smoky Hill is going to be rushing the line, and he needs to readjust. That's why he's so aggressive on those timeouts, because he sees these things, he needs to adjust. That's a critical thing to adjust there. I mean, that's going to be a sack time after time after time unless you can adjust your blocking structure.
So Coach Logan burns his first timeout of the game with 6:54 left to go in the opening quarter. And Bruins come out in the shotgun on 2nd and 15 following the Hammond sack. As they blitz again, it's a quick screen pass complete to Kyer Johnston as Johnson gets across the 40, get a break to his right to the 25, then to the 20, down to the 15, and inside of that as a big gain for the Cherry Creek offense on the screen pass. The speedy Kyer Johnston.
So Kyer is a junior, Ben. Mrs. McDavid, if you're watching, consider recruiting this kid to your track team. I mean, he has wheels.
And pretty good size for a member of the track team and the football team as well. One of the shorter wide receivers on Cherry Creek's roster. As it's going to be a short pass to Carlson Tan. Couldn't quite be recovered, and a tackle after the play is going to force the official to throw a penalty flag.
That one's pretty unambiguous, Ben. I mean, that was several seconds after the play.
The play had been called dead, and then the play continued after that. As Tan dropped it and then was wrapped up after the ball had hit the turf. So it should be half the distance to the goal. And they're going to replay first down. By the way, just about halfway through the first quarter, we want to tell you all night long, if you'd like to join the conversation, as always, you can tweet us at Cherry Creek SN, and we'd be happy to read those comments here tonight in the final week of the regular season, and really the final week that you can join the conversation before we hit the NFHS network. It's a handoff to Carlson Tan as he gets very close to the goal line, but he's looked like he's just stopped shy inside the one. So bring up now third and goal rather from the 1 yard line.
And an interesting question here, Ben. They actually did get the first down. So it's going to be first down and goal.
Oh, now first and goal rather. Salmon rolls right, gets a complete pass, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins, and it is Max Rodriguez. 5:25 left to go. Bruins in the end zone for the third time tonight.
Well, gee, Ben. It was a pretty high-velocity game.
So Bone in the leg Page will come on for his third extra point of the night, and he is now 3 for 3, just over halfway through the first quarter.
I mean, this might be the greatest number of kicks Bone in the leg Page has ever kicked in a 6-minute, 35-second span.
I'd have to agree with you, Matthew.
I mean, maybe Miles Purchase sent him out there a few more times than that, but
arguably it was Alexi the Leg Ventura back then too, though.
Good point.
Arguably, depending on the season.
Both the leg, though, right? So one and the same.
Always the leg.
Always the leg. Here on CCSN.
I was having a conversation, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to broadcast some games at the next level. Do I bring the leg with me to the NCAA?
I think you should, Ben. You know, it adds personality to your broadcast.
Thank you.
You got to give some nicknames, right? I mean, that's important. And we don't give enough. I'm sure in college you'll have more than enough nicknames, more than enough personal anecdotes.
Yes.
It's important.
I would be honored to bring the leg with me. So Bowdoin gets another touchback, and Smoky Hill gets ready for their third drive of the game. 5:25 left to go in this first quarter. First and 10, Bowers in the shotgun. And it's going to be another handoff to Haywood.
And Ben, here on the sidelines, we have quite the coordination effort going. Sasha Langwin and Caden Cups of the senior class are trying to explain the chant. It's apparently quite confusing.
Let's see what they come up with. So we take a look at the replay as well. So it went to Haywood. Great stop by the D-line. Oh, it is the classic party chant, Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
A favorite of the class of 2022. 2nd and 9. Bauer's going to keep himself towards the near sideline as he gets close to the 30. Looks like he just crosses it, and he'll pick up the 1st down.
That's going to be Sam Pesdertz on the tackle. We're going to get the replay here. It's a nice tackle.
He had me faked out. Bring up a new set of downs as they just get to the 30-yard line. So again, Pesner's in there on the tackle.
They call him Pez on the team, and he's aggressive. He hits hard.
1st and 10 from the 30. Bauer's going to keep himself, and he was hit by Blake Purchase in the backfield, which will give him a short loss. This Purchase had the pick 6, the 2nd touchdown of this game, following Kai O'Day's kickoff return on the opening kick of the game. 2nd and 12 will be from the 28-yard line.
That's one of the menacing things about Blake Purchase, Ben. He has the speed of a running back, and of course he's on the defensive line. I mean, he's just about one of the most athletic guys out there, you know, despite being a lineman, right? And he'll chase you down in the backfield.
As Anthony Harris Jr. gets his 2nd reception of the game just past the sticks, and it should bring up 1st down. But while we finish up that on Blake Purchase, he reminds me of, I'd say DeMarcus Ware, maybe a Von Miller as well. It's that kind of outside rusher type of guy.
That's certainly a very astute observation, Ben. If you listen to KOA, 850, right, with Dave Logan?
Home of Dave Logan.
Right? He'll tell you the most athletic guys on the line are always the defensive linemen. And Blake Purchase is the perfect example of that.
Multi-sport athlete, as Bowers was looking deep. A nice fly ball was looking for Anthony Harris Jr., but it's going to fall incomplete.
And Ben, I said that on the very first play of the game. You're going to see that a lot tonight. When they take risks, that's the risk they take. They send Anthony Harris Jr. deep. They hope Bowers can hit him. And Harris has got the height, and of course he's got the separation there. If the ball's in position, that's a touchdown or close to it.
Just a little bit of an overthrow. Bring up 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. Bowers in the shotgun. Scott Haywood to his left. Bowers going to keep himself as he's working towards the near sideline and will just cross the 40 before he's hit by 3 Bruins. He'll get a 1-yard loss on that play. 3rd and 11 will come up. So the Bruins were all over this one as it came towards their near sideline.
And Smoky Hill, they did a good job picking up their blocks, but Cherry Creek did a better job shedding them.
3rd and long on the 41-yard line. Smoky Hill is 2 for 3 so far on conversions tonight. So they look to go in the air. We have whistles here, and Smoky Hill burned a timeout. And as Smoky Hill burns a timeout,
and I think they burned it because the play clock was about to hit 0.
Stay on for just a moment. 3:11 point in the 1st quarter. And so 3:11 left to go in the opening quarter. 3rd and 10 is upcoming from Smoky Hill, and they'd love to continue the momentum after turning the ball over on their first 2 drives.
Well, sure, Ben, and that's the importance of calling a timeout there, right? You don't want your players to be making a play in haste. That's going to be really critical. Continuing this momentum, converting a 3rd and long, a timeout well spent.
So here we go. 3rd and 10 coming out of the timeout.
I like Anthony Harris Jr. here. Yep.
Bowers looking for him on the far sideline, and it's going to fall incomplete.
I'll tell you, Ben, he came out of the huddle. He looked at Anthony Harris Jr. He took the snap, and he only looked at Anthony Harris Jr. That's what he means to this team, you know, for better and for worse. He's dependable. His height, his speed is dependable. They just can't find the connection there. You see it. One look. He is the primary receiver all the way. That's what happens when you got a player on your team who's 6'5".
Punt team comes out. It's a high one, a not very long one, and it takes a bounce at the 45 and will take a friendly Smoky Hill bounce before it's downed.
And looked to me like the sophomore, number 8, Angelo Petrides, got just a small part of his hand on it. That would be one reason why the punt fell so short.
2:54 left to go. Bruins offense going to take back over on their own 38-yard line. So they try to extend the lead to 4 scores. As we get into the later minutes of the first quarter, Salmon's in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers out there with him, and Carlson Tan to his left. As the blitz came again, and the pass will fall incomplete, says the back judge, as Hammond had pressure closing in.
And that play is just another example of how well Christian Hammond does under pressure. I mean, it's him and one Smoky guy in the backfield, of course, and he patiently avoids him. He hustles, but he's not hasteful, and just not able to make the completion, but really slow heartbeat, great heads-up play there.
As CC will go in motion at the bottom of the formation, and he's going to be the recipient of a screen pass as he tries to break a tackle. The ball comes loose, it's kicked, and now let's see who's on top of it. As the officials get to the bottom of the pile, players on both teams are pointing their way. And it's going to be Smoky Hills football. So CC was trying to break a tackle, almost wrestled his defender, and he ended up losing the ball.
I mean, the thing is, Ben, if Smoky's in that same zone coverage and they don't do a good enough job disguising it next time, that plays liable to work just as well the next time.
So now Cherry Creek still winning the turnover battle 2-1, but both teams now have had a turnover in the first quarter. As a quick 4-yard gain for the Buffaloes on first down.
Well, and sometimes, Ben, you're getting tackled. It's a horrible thought, but sometimes you just have to go down. And that's the part of ball security, right? So, I mean, that was a strong tackle, and Ishmael Sisi fought hard to stay up. It looked like if he could have stayed up, he could have gotten a touchdown. But, of course, there trying to stay up is just going to cost possession, turn it over.
Stay on the ground. Haywood on second down. Get another nice pickup. We'll bring up 3rd and 3. Inside 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter as Smoky Hill has yet to enter Cherry Creek territory, and they're going to try to convert here and cross the 50. As they get ready for their 3rd play of the drive. 3rd and 2. Bowers in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself on yet another 3rd down, and he's going to get enough for it as he gets up to the 43-yard line.
Ben, it's been a cold couple of days, but it is awfully nice in the Stutler Bowl tonight.
It's got 63 degrees in the area right now, and Matthew really couldn't have asked for a better fall day, or really, so far, a better fall night for football. New set of downs. They're going to hand it off to Haywood, and he'll get perhaps a 1-yard gain. The Cherry Creek defense was there to swallow up quickly. Matthew, 4 plays, 4 runs so far for Smoky Hill on this drive. You think they're going to mix in a pass on this set of downs?
Well, I mean, it seems likely, right? You know, you're down 21 points, and you have Anthony Harris Jr., and you feel confident in him in the deep game. We actually haven't seen as much from him in the deep game as I was expecting, at least so far. So I think you could definitely see a lot more of him, such as now.
Well, it comes to him, but he's wrapped up for a loss, and that will bring us to the end of the first quarter here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Your score after 1 quarter of play, the Cherry Creek Bruins 21. The Smoky Hill Buffaloes 0. As we said earlier in the pregame, it is indeed Military Appreciation Night here at the Stutler Bowl. And with more on that, we're going to send it down to our Reagan Kanabe on the sideline.
Wow. It's a bit unexpected. We are dealing with some problems with Reagan's mic.
Reagan, give it one more shot.
All right, Ben, I'm going to run down there.
All right, Matthew. Reagan, we will hear again from you soon. But as you see on that far sideline, got some veterans. And as we get back into play on 3rd down, not enough to get the first for the Buffaloes. So an 11-yard drive. They get stopped short at the 49-yard line. And the punt team comes back out for Smoky Hill. This one a much better punt than the first one, as Remington Larson brings it at the 20-yard line, looks to work cross field, but he's wrapped up by a lineman. Brody Michael got downfield, and he wrapped up Larson behind the 20-yard line.
Okay.
And now it sounds like we do have Reagan Kanabe.
None of it?
But now we do have Reagan Kanabe down on the sideline. So Cherry Creek offense back on the field. Their 3rd offensive drive of the game. Last one ended in a fumble. They take over at their own 17-yard line. As no Julian Hammond out there. Looks like Russell back there to play quarterback. We saw this last week, but Marte Russell lost the football. And let's see who has it. Bruins do, as the clock will run. Matthew, we saw this last week where the Bruins had a 2-quarterback setup, and it got to a point where Marte Russell and Christian Hammond were almost alternating possessions, and we see that again here tonight as Marte Russell has entered the game here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, you know, that's one privilege you have when you're up 21-0, right? you can start to sum in some of your less experienced players to try to get them some more experience. And that's exactly what they're doing, subbing in Marte right now.
It's Russell. Hand the ball off for perhaps a short gain. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 11 for the Bruins. So they're on their own 16-yard line, and Russell looking to get his play call. He's joined by Kair Johnston. As Jake Howell, the sophomore, will come off. And now Coach Logan will call a timeout. Play clock was at 7. And he burns his second of the half. Now the Bruins up 3 scores right now. We've seen 2 fumbles, one of them lost. And as we hit the postseason next week and hopefully in the following weeks, ball security is just going to get more important each and every week.
Yes, Ben, there's a very high correlation between the score differential and the turnover differential. Because, of course, for every turnover, you give up an opportunity to score. And in this case, you know, maybe it's not going to change the course of the game being 21-0 already, but in a close game, a single turnover can cost you. And Cherry Creek's learned that lesson already this year. They learned that lesson against Arapahoe, one of their losses. They learned that lesson against Chandler, another one of those losses. They've got to remember those lessons and just how much it hurts to lose a game on account of a fumble when they're thinking about their ball security this week.
As Russell looking for O'Day on the near sideline. Was he in bounds? He made the reception, and now they're going to say incomplete.
Well, I think that came out anyways.
And O'Day's shaken up. He's going to exit on the near sideline. It's a leading pass from Russell to O'Day.
He's got it. It pops out, unfortunately.
And landing on his back, perhaps shoulder, he's going to head to the sideline as Cherry Creek punts for the first time tonight. And it is a big one from Bow to the Lake Page as it's brought in for a fair catch at the 45 by the Buffaloes. And they'll come out with 9:40 left to go. Quarter number 2, Bruins still on top, 21-0.
So, Bennett, if we go back to Smoky Hill's last possession just for a moment, they had a screen pass, didn't quite work out. Pez was there. Pez is an absolute menace. And he was deep right on Anthony Harris as soon as he got the ball. I'll let you do the play here.
It's a quick handoff to Haywood once again for a short gain. Real quick, Matthew, on the topic of switching positions, now Hammond out there to play defense. We saw that last week as well. He's on the very bottom of your screen.
Well, yeah. I'm no football expert, Ben. I'm not exactly sure why they've made this decision in particular, seeing as, you know, Christian's their quarterback. You don't want to get your quarterback injured. But
yeah,
of course,
you would love to rest Christian, especially he took a beating in the Arapahoe game, and we still saw him playing corner last week in some possessions on defense as well.
But of course, if there's anybody you're going to have play Iron Man, it's going to be Christian.
Hey,
Hammond.
guys just want to play ball.
I mean, he's such a skilled player on both sides of the ball. He was a guy that coming in a few weeks, really a few weeks ahead of, you know, the beginning of the regular season was on defense. And then they had sort of a quarterback crisis. Who was their quarterback going to be? They said, Christian.
I'd call it a battle, not a crisis. The Broncos might have a quarterback crisis.
Sure. A battle between two extraordinarily good athletes, right?
As another pass was almost intercepted as the Bruins tried to jump the route, but nonetheless, it was complete to Jamal Humphrey.
that is a great point, Ben. There was this quarterback battle, right? He picked up the quarterback position in a little less than a summer. And of course, he's got so much experience. He's got his older brother. But still, he works super hard, and he picks up the game fast. He's just a smart guy. And, of course, you can put him at corner. He's played defensive line. He's played linebacker. I'm sure you could put him at wide receiver.
It's the direct snap to Bowers. Takes it himself, and short gain on the play. But, yes, let us give the difference between a quarterback crisis and battle, because you had two very good quarterbacks in Russell and Hammond, but the Denver Broncos have had the most amount of starting quarterbacks in the league since Peyton Manning's retirement, and that might be able to be considered a crisis.
That is true. A few years ago, this was sort of how the Browns win. I don't remember all their quarterbacks, but they were horrible, and they had like 3 quarterbacks per season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Browns have become the Broncos, and I'm just glad we have Cherry Creek football to look at.
Matthew, this is always the highlight of my week. Complete pass, spin move, as Dixon Jr. has the reception as he tries to get to the 30-yard line, and he's going to be just shy of the marker, bring down 3rd and short.
Well, that was really pretty impressive.
So he moved cross field and some nice moves to elude the Cherry Creek defense. And real quick, looks like Russell still warming up to play quarterback on the sideline, so we might see him again on the next drive. Hammond's still out there. He's on Anthony Harris Jr., bottom of your screen. That's the one-on-one matchup. And we have a flag. False start going to be called on the Smoky Hill offense. So made a manageable 3rd and 2. Now going to be a 3rd and 7, which does change things quite a bit. As we'll see who jumped.
It's going to be the left guard there.
Third and 7. So we're almost halfway through the second quarter. Bowers in the shotgun. Looking to pass. He's looking left. Anthony Harris Jr. didn't see it coming. Almost made the reception, but we had a flag down. And we'll see. It's going to be pass interference on the Bruins. So we'll take another look. As Anthony Harris Jr. was interfered with, but he almost came back to make that reception.
It's one and the same, really.
So it looks like it was Charles McEver on the coverage who was flagged with pass interference. First and 10 now on the 22 as Smoky Hill looks to get into the red zone for the first time tonight. And we have another flag. False start going to be called yet again. So now 1st and 15 after the false start. Back him up to the 27-yard line. Bowers going to keep it himself, but he's met by Hank Zelinkus. Give him a short loss. Short gain, rather. Bring up 2nd and long.
But I got to say, it's a lot more fun when we're the away team in the Stutler Bowl.
We got our fans right below us, Matthew.
Yeah.
It's a luxury. And that's what's fun about literally every other sport that's played here, is that they only use this side of the stadium. So you got both student sections on this time sometimes. It's a shot looking towards the end zone. Who comes down with it? And they're calling Anthony Harris Jr. out of bounds. But he made the grab. Let's see if we can get another look at that one. And once again, Bowers knew he was going to Anthony Harris Jr. as soon as he got the snap. It's a jump ball. 2 defenders there, and that looks like that foot may have just been out of bounds or on the line. But a good reception by Anthony Harris Jr. in double coverage.
And that's one of the things for Anthony Harris Jr. They're always going to put him in double coverage because you can pretty much depend on him to be getting the ball.
3rd and 15. They go to him again, this side on the near side. He has the grab. He's out of bounds, but a flag is down. So that's double coverage on Harris, back-to-back plays.
I can take over the call for a minute.
Yeah,
if you need to, Ben.
thanks,
This is a good
Matthew.
time. Ben's going to step aside for a moment. We have a little bit of Flo Rida on the sidelines, a little bit of my house.
I know that this is a favorite of Jonathan Varghese. He plays this. Oh, he's got it on right now. Thank you, Johnny. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate that. 4th and 15 coming up for the Buffaloes. I thought that penalty was going to be on the Bruins. Was it Anthony Harris Jr. on the offensive pass interference?
I was not paying attention. I was too much enjoying my house as well as our special visitor in the booth and working with the scoreboard. Got a lot going on right now. I missed the penalty, Ben, but alas, it's 4th and 15.
And they're going for it.
They are. Why not? Really? I mean,
If I had to
statistics
guess,
say you should.
Oh, he's not looking for Harris Jr. Complete pass to Humphrey. He's going to be shy of the line to gain as he gets to the perhaps 16-yard line. Line to gain was about the 13. So turnover on downs, and the Bruins will take back on over on offense. 5:04 left to go in the opening half. And it's been all Bruins.
And let's give some credit for the tackle there, Ben. That was Easy Rice.
Ezron.
Everybody likes Ezron Rice.
Everybody, you got to love Easy. With a nickname like Easy,
Yeah.
you got to love Easy.
What?
Just an easygoing guy.
Yeah, he's an easy guy to like, right?
Hey, you got it, Matthew. It's Hammond back out there at quarterback as it was a quick handoff. Jet sweep to Remington. Rather, Heron. It's going to be Jordan Heron, 16 for the Bruins. And no gain on the play. Will still bring up 2nd and 10 on the 16.
And it really is this point in the season that you'll start to see Creek develop a much wider repertoire of plays. You'll start to see Wildcat, the jet sweep right there, because as they head into the playoffs, they're trying to start to be a little bit more unpredictable. That hasn't been as important throughout the regular season, but obviously the playoffs are much higher stakes.
Salmon was looking right, now rolling out to the left. He's got Cece. His feet are in bounds, and Ismail Cece's got his first reception of the game.
What a slow heartbeat. I mean, the ability to take in all of that pressure. He's being chased down by 3 guys right there. To process it slowly and make an absolute dime of a throw to Ishmael Cece on the sideline. You know, we were talking with Tyler the other day in Econ, and he said something to the effect of Cherry Creek has really had it very good these past few years with Julian and now Christian Hammond, just because they have really like top of their class decision making.
Blitz coming from the Buffaloes as Hammond looks to throw. He's looking for O'Day. He's overthrown. We have a flag down in the backfield, and holding going to be called against the Bruins, so it should back it up to 1st and about 20. So as Hammond overthrew O'Day anyhow. So back up the Bruins. To the 21-yard line.
Best down to take a penalty, Ben.
And first and now more than 20. Bruins on the their own 21-yard line. As Hammond looking to hand off, he goes to Carlson Tan for a short gain on the play. So Bruins got to get to the 48-yard line. And they're on the 23.
Scoreboard says 2nd and 18. No.
Second and 25 now.
Yeah.
So first down was even longer for the Bruins after they took the penalty from the spot of the foul rather than the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and 25 from the 23. And Smoky Hill burns their second timeout of the half, so now each team has a timeout apiece. Let's talk about Carlson Tan real quick. Bubba Tan, as they call him. We weren't expecting to see him return until the postseason, but he took some snaps in last week's game. He's taking some snaps again here tonight, and it's great to see him back earlier than expected.
It has been great. It was difficult to provide a prognosis for him early on because, of course, he had a high ankle sprain. And, well, Bubba, he is a resilient guy, and he recovered faster than the doctors expected. But, of course, the doctors always sort of give an overestimate,
It's a
especially when we're
timetable. It's a
talking
timetable.
about Bubba Tan, right? So, yeah, it's great to see him back. I mean, he was sorely missed for the time period that he was missed, which I believe was the Arapahoe game, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
They definitely could have used him that night.
absolutely. Without Carlson and Keegan, of course, the running game really struggles.
It's a pass to the near side, complete to Rodriguez. He had a touchdown earlier tonight. Gets across the 35. Ball came out after he was taken down. So the Bruins going to have now 3rd and long. It's going to be just about 13 yards.
And we talked about Christian. We talked about Marte, how they're switching what side of the ball they're on. Maxwell Rodriguez, another example of guys switching what side of the ball they're on. He's a sophomore, typically plays on the line or as a linebacker. But in this case, they've switched him over. He's proven to be a valuable asset in the receiving corps, and that's what Cherry Creek needs.
And coming into tonight, just 2 receptions on the season. That touchdown earlier was his first of the season. This pass complete to Kai O'Day. Markham about 3 yards short of the line to gain. So 4th and 3 coming up, and we'll see. Looks like Cherry Creek's going to stay out there inside 3 minutes to go in the first half. As Carlson Tan will head off. Cooper Pollard comes on for the Bruins.
Ben, the data would say to go for it. Obviously, that's not conventional in high school or really any level of football, but Dave Logan isn't conventional, and the data says to go for it here, and of course, you've got 2 minutes, 40 seconds left. This is a good choice to make.
And your defense, who has played almost perfect so far. They've let up no points. Quick pass complete to Ismail Cece. He's into open space. Have a flag down about the 45-yard line. So the Bruins initially move the chains. We'll see what the call is. So we'll take a look.
Looked like it happened after the definitely after the catch. It's going to happen around the 50, I believe the penalty was. Yep, yeah, it's that. It's that push right there. I believe that was number 7, Cooper Pollard, blocking. And you just can't get that aggressive. And that flag's going to fly right in. Can't quite see the flag on the replay.
So you can see number 7 right at the 50-yard line.
He's going to make the tackle. Yeah.
A little bit of a push.
Yep. You can't do that.
So because they take that penalty from that spot and it's ahead of the line to gain, 10 yards from the spot of the foul really only backs Cherry Creek up a yard or 2, and they still have 4th and manageable, and the offense stays out there.
4 and 2, 4 and 3, not a big difference, right? Data still says to go for it.
It's a quick pass to Cece before the penalty. We'll see what they do here as the Bruins have 4 receivers out there. as Hammond was looking to throw, has pressure coming his way, trying to take it himself, and they're going to blow the play dead as he didn't even get ahead of the line of scrimmage. So Bruins don't convert on 4th and 3, and with 2 minutes even left to go, Smoky Hill will get the ball back.
So, of course, that's the other half where you don't convert, where you feel like your statistics led you awry.
Hammond was trying to break tackles, but eventually there was just too many Buffaloes to get through. A herd of Buffaloes.
But here's the reality of this other half. Smoky Hill's got to make it down the field in 2 minutes with 1 timeout remaining, right? So you'd prefer to convert there, but not a terrible loss. Smoky Hill's got a lot ahead of them.
44 yards of field ahead of them as they keep it on the ground, and it's another carry for Haywood, who's been pounding the rock tonight.
And you got 120 seconds to make it 44 yards. You know, every run plays at least 20 seconds off the clock, at least at the high school level. So you got to minimize those.
And it looks like, perhaps from the statistics that we have, that Haywood hasn't even been their top guy this season, and really not even their top 4 guys on the ground.
That would certainly seem to be the case from the statistics we have. He's got 6 carries on the year. Their leading guy, Marvin Jones III, has got 113. So Haywood, certainly not the leader. Now, one thing is, if they move the chains,
which they do, as they went to the I formation for the first time tonight, Bowers kept it himself.
Yeah, the clock's going to stop, so that buys them a little bit of time. Okay, the clock operator did not.
Not a very friendly clock operator for the home team.
Yeah, of course, the clock operator supplied by the home team. Maybe we have our rules wrong, but I believe the clock is supposed to stop when the
chains are
move.
Set. Yep.
Yep.
We'll talk.
And then it restarts. Right?
We'll talk about your timekeeping adventures. We'll talk it over during halftime in the CCSN week report. It was heartbreaking week, but a pretty exciting one, as some of the Bruins teams went out in the fall sports playoffs in some pretty exciting ways. All that and more coming up at halftime. But first, we have the final 37 seconds of the opening half. 2nd and 10 coming up for Smoky Hill after the incomplete pass. They're on their own 34-yard line, or on the Bruins 34 rather. And Bowers returns to the shotgun. He's looking to pass. Purchase was closing in. And a diving desperation tackle was almost made by Kevin Bray. And I know K. Bray's not playing, so someone wearing Kevin Bray's number.
Oh, how fun it is to have this roster, Ben.
May have been Chase Clements. Yep, 91 in white, tried to make that diving tackle, was finally wrapped up by Pointer, the senior lineman. And like that, Smoky Hill will burn their 3rd and final timeout of the half before their 3rd and 7 try on the 31, trying to get some points on the board before they send it to the locker room. And, of course, Smoky Hill will receive the second half kickoff after Cherry Creek returned the first half one for a touchdown. As Kai O'Day got, I believe, more than his 4th touchdown of the season. We don't have stats updated after last week's game. Bruins put up 41 points over Eagle Crest in their 41-14 victory. And for those of you at home, that's when we taught you about palindromes.
I like Harris here. They're not going to give him the look.
So Bowers takes it himself, and he's going to be close to the line of gain, and he might have gotten, he gets just about 8 yards on 3rd and 7, so Bowers keeps it himself. No time left, as it looks like he's just get a spike.
Well,
and he will with 13 seconds left to go.
I mean, to be candid with you here, Ben, I don't quite know what's going on with the clock and the scoreboard, or the scoreboard clock in the Stutler Bowl. But in any case, they're going to get the spike off and have, maybe 1 or 2 plays depending on whether this next pass is incomplete.
And I believe that the yellow chains are the ones that need to be set on the ground for the clock to stop, or if the play starts before those are set. So if you get a 40-yard gain and you're in the hurry-up offense, there's a very good chance that you could beat the chains down. And in that case, the clock just starts.
Sure, if you start the play, right?
Sure.
But, yeah, that clock definitely started before they started the play. So, you know what? We aren't masters of the Chassa Bulletin, right?
No, no, sir. So Coach Dave Logan will take his third and final timeout. So both teams now out of timeouts as Cherry Creek defense get ready to defend a couple more plays in the half. Probably 13 seconds left, and you know Smoky Hill's looking for the end zone down 21. Something interesting, Matthews, they haven't really mixed it up besides one play in the I formation. It's been all shotgun for Bowers in the offense, and he's had quite a few quarterback runs out of the shotgun that have paid off as well.
I mean, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Bowers finding holes. Despite the lack of versatility, they're finding success, and of course, then you don't need much versatility, right?
So you got to make sure that the chains are in the right way. And it looks like we are good to go. So they're going to set the play clock to 25. Clock will start on the snap with 13 seconds left to go in the half. Smoky's on the 23. Bowers looking to throw over the middle, is looking in the direction of Humphrey. Will fall incomplete. Burns off 4 seconds, so 9 now remain. And they have 3rd and 10 coming up. So we take another look.
And they have a realistic shot at the end zone here. If they're able to run pass plays as quick as that one, right? If they can run a one pass play in less than 9 seconds, and if it goes incomplete, they'll get another shot, right? So they got to find the end zone, though. They can't take a complete ball short.
3rd and 10. Just looking for the tight end, Dylan Hagney. Incomplete, so now 5 seconds left, and they have 4th and 10 on the 23, and it looks like that the field goal team may be coming out for Smoky Hill. As the 40-yard attempt is up, and it is good. Through the uprights, and that brings us to the end of the first half as Caden McEachnie, his field goes up and good, makes it 21-3 as teams will hit the locker room. We're going to take a break here on CCSN, and we'll be back. Oh, rather, my apologies. We're going to send it down to Reagan Kanabi on the sideline. She's going to tell us more about Veterans Appreciation Night. Reagan, down to you. We don't have her again.
Options out here that are lending themselves very well to Veterans Appreciation Night. The coaching staff is wearing camo sweatshirts, which is a very nice touch, and then our student section is participating in a USA Out, which the Creek colors always lend themselves really well to that. Now on the other side of the field behind me, it looks, if I were to guess, to be a Halloween Out by Smoky Hill student section. Now I'm seeing some great costumes. We have a few cowboys, a dinosaur, some aliens. I think I saw a Greek goddess, Waldo from Where's Waldo, and my favorite, the walking hot dog. Now I know we're all excited for Halloween Sunday night, but before then we're excited for hopefully a really interesting second half. Back up to you, Ben.
Reagan, thank you. And Matthew, I almost sent you the text last night. I was thinking, hey, how about we wear some costumes tonight? Didn't quite send the text, but would have been exciting for sure.
I'm disappointed, Ben. I have a very nice Toon Squad costume.
Oh.
Yes.
Bugs Bunny?
I'm not going as Bugs. I'm just going as Toon Squad.
The new one, or the new Toon Squad, or the OG the Michael Jordan Toon Squad?
All right. Michael Jordan's the GOAT, right?
Yes. Yes.
But
I'm happy we're on the same page about that.
But the new costume, or the new jersey for Space Jam is much better looking. So that's the one I got.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have more on Halloween costumes, first half stats, All that and more coming up on CCSN. Matthew and I will take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sometimes I think about the a little all of the time. I say that I hate you, but you're still on my mind. Every time we talk, I say that I'm fine, but I miss you a little all of the time. Yeah, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, you coping in different ways. I see you in places with people you told me was fake. You out lying to yourself while I'm at home lying awake. This went from pleasure to pain. Cupid's been taking a break. Yeah, and I know your whole team and that makes you jealous. Yeah, you play like I'm the one that can't keep it cool. Act like it's all fine, but I'm storytelling. Before the record, I miss you a little all of the time. I say that I hate you, but you're still on my mind. Every time we talk, I say that I'm fine, but I miss you a little all of the time. Pretend, thinking we could be friends. You already had that. Now I'm off the deep end, sick of playing pretend. Wish it never happened. Yeah, I miss you a little all of the time. I say that I hate you, but you're still on my mind. Every time we talk, I say that I'm fine, but I miss you a little all of the time. I miss you a little all of the time. I say that I hate you, but you're still on my mind. Every time we talk, I say that I'm fine, but I miss you a little all of the time.
Remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed. You gave me commands, I always obeyed. I never let you go astray. I never thought I'd see the day that you would come and just betray me. Sick of playing silly games, you never loved me anyway. You should not have let me get away, cause now I'm hunting for my prey. I'm bigger, I'm better, my mind is a weapon. I roll up and let up, you try to break me down and I'ma just get up. They ask me how I did it, I'ma just tell them I rose up. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Come on, back stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. Staring at you from afar, analyzing every scar, asking myself how we got here. Remember, this is who we are. I am not here for revenge. I did not come to make amends. Not here to repent for my sins. I just came here to win. I just came here to end. I just came here to fight. Show you everything you said I couldn't be. I became overnight. This for the blood, this is for the tears, this is for my pain and my plight. Two walked in, but only one of us is walking out of here tonight. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Come back stronger. I will arise.
We don't cry. We don't die out. I just wanna be victorious. Doesn't matter what my story is. Even when the darkness shines, I'm not gonna lose this fight. I just wanna be victorious. Fire in the flames, it's glorious. Even when the darkness comes, I'm not gonna lose it all. I just wanna be victorious. Us, victorious. Us. Bury me alive with the beast and demons. Gotta walk through fire to know what you believe in. Rise up from the smoke and the ashes now. Yeah, 'cause we don't hide. We don't cry. We don't die out. I just wanna be victorious. Doesn't matter what my story is. Even when the darkness shines, I'm not gonna lose this fight. I just wanna be victorious. Fire in the flames, it's glorious. Even when the darkness comes, I'm not gonna lose it all. I just wanna be victorious. Us, victorious. Us, victorious. Us, victorious. Us. Doesn't matter what my story is. Even when the darkness shines, I'm not gonna lose this fight. I just wanna be victorious. Fire in the flames, it's glorious. Even when the darkness comes, I'm not gonna lose it all. I just wanna be victorious. Us, victorious.
Need a miracle, hurry up now, I need a miracle. Stranded, reaching out, I call your name but you're not around. I say your name but you're not around. I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down. Don't let me down. Running out of time. I really thought you were on my side, but now there's nobody by my side. I need you right now. Yeah, I need you right now. So don't let me down. I think I'm losing my mind now. It's in my head, darling. I hope that you'll be here when I need you the most. So don't let me down.
too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip. Word upon your lip. Rather that you rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes. Got the fear of being typical. Looking at my body feeling miserable. Always hanging on to the visual. I wanna be invisible. Looking at my years like I'm out of dumb. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough on the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip. Word upon your lip. Rather that you rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes. Critical, egotistical. Don't wanna be the parenthetical, hypothetical. Working onto something that I'm proud of. Out of the box, an epoxy to the world and the vision we've lost. I'm an apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see. I'm just a product of the system of catastrophe, and yet a masterpiece. And yet I'm half diseased, and when I am deceased, at least I go down to the grave and die happily, and leave the body of my soul to be a part of me. I do what it takes. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes.
Back with Matthew Anderson. I'm Vedran Paris. This team's warming up for the second half. Cherry Creek leads 21-3. Matthew, we were talking about Halloween costumes before the break, and we got to get Reagan Kanabi back on the line. But what are some of your favorites from over the years?
I don't know, Ben. I wasn't the greatest at costumes. I once went as a founding father.
I once went as a UPS delivery guy.
That is
I had the
pretty
whole.
sick.
I had like a. It was like a brown jumpsuit, and I was a UPS delivery guy. I've been a firefighter more times than you can ever imagine.
More than 18 times?
Matthew, it was like a phase where I was every day come home from school, put on your firefighter outfit. It was the best.
Yeah. I know how that was. You had costumes you wore for like 7 days straight.
Yeah.
You never wore them again.
we're talking, I have a orange jumpsuit. It's a NASA flight suit costume.
I've seen that one. That one's nice.
I'm going to the Broncos game on Sunday. So obviously orange fits. Do I wear the jumpsuit to the Broncos game?
Yes.
All right. Reagan Kanabi, we're going to send it back down to you. What are your plans for the Halloween holiday? And you got a costume? Johnny, can we get our mic on?
Reagan, go ahead and start that one over.
That's Johnny's bad.
Johnny was enjoying the DJing.
All right, tell us the plan.
Okay, so I will be going as a cowboy because currently the funds are not in place to finance an actual costume. But
Relatable.
I think the cowboy costume will go over well. I'm really excited for Ben's jumpsuit. We've seen that one before for some sort of dress-up day during Spirit Week. I think my vote is yes, you should wear that to the football game and then to any Halloween festivities afterwards.
Reagan, question for you and us, Matthew, as well. Trick-or-treating on Sunday night?
I might be a bit old for trick-or-treating, but
No,
I'll definitely
never.
be handing out candy. Never too old for trick-or-treating, I guess they say. I like chocolate, so maybe I'll go make the rounds.
Matthew?
You know what, Ben? No. Yeah.
I don't think I'll be home in time. I think I'll be home too late.
Well, you'll be enjoying yourself at the Broncos game. Maybe they'll have candy there.
Maybe they'll finally win a game.
Ouch.
4-game losing streak?
Well, you know what? If they lose again, Ben, you can always come back to the Stutler Bowl. Cherry Creek is sure to put on a good one for you.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. They even lose in good fashion. And in both games they've lost this season, they've been great games.
Well, they're a great team, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll hear more from Reagan as the half continues. And lots more fun to come on the final game before Halloween and the final game of the regular season. And Matthew will have to talk about some soccer adventures from this week as the broadcast comes on, as Bowden the Leg Page will get ready to kick off half number 2. And we'll be reading your tweets all half long at Cherry Creek SN. And we can't wait to see what you have to say. Bruins and Buffaloes get ready for half number 2 on Military Appreciation Night, final week of the regular season. And we'll call it the Halloween game. As half number 2 is underway, not the best one from Page, as it's fielded at about the 5-yard line and ran out at about the 25 by Malik Daniels. That was Humphrey, rather. So first drive of the half, down 21-3. Smoky Hill Buffaloes begin on their own 28-yard line. As Bowers hands off. It's Haywood again. And he'll get up to 31-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
And Ben, you touched on it a bit earlier. Haywood has been, but besides, of course, quarterback Tyleek Bowers, he's really been their go-to guy on the run. If not 100% of their carries. But of course, he only had 6 carries coming into this game, and they've rushed a lot more than 6 times. So it's really interesting to see, perhaps a less experienced player in this position. I'm not familiar with the Smoky Hill team. Maybe he's coming out of an injury, if I had to guess. That's going to be a flag.
Looks like we got a false start call coming. As Marvin Jones has been the top guy this season for Smoky Hill. Leads the teams in rushing touchdowns with 9. Leads the team in total touchdowns as well.
Yeah. Well, Haywood's, of course, a senior, and he's been really effective tonight. So we're not up on the Smoky Hill scuttlebutt, but in any case, it was a small surprise to us going just off the statistics.
On 2nd and 12, the pass is intercepted. Third forced turnover of the game by the Bruins. And this time it's Pez.
And of course, what's never a surprise, a pass to Anthony Harris. And that's the risk you run. Pez is always on his toes since he knows Harris is just such a threat. And he has more than enough time to get in there. You know, the problem is Harris, you know, he just kind of stops. There's not much of a cutback there. Not a great opportunity to create separation. That ball's just hanging for Pez to grab it. And of course, Pez is a great player. He's gonna make that interception more times than he's not.
Bruins take on over at the Smoky Hill 36 as Christian Hammond rather, back out there on the offense as it's a handoff to Bubba Tan for a gain close to the markers. They're going to give him enough for the first down, so a 10-yard gain for Bubba on first down.
He'll take that all day.
So he averages just about 10 yards, about 9.5 per carry. It means it's almost a first down every time he touches the ball. He gets another carry here as he's trying to get to the 20. Going to be stopped just shy of that. And he'll get about a 3-yard gain.
Sometimes I just think about how sore these guys have to be on Saturday. Look at Bubba here. Oh, grabs his ankle, twists his leg, and then, of course, cherry on top, gets smushed by 2 guys. And, of course, he pops right back up. Remarkable.
2nd and 7 after Tan's 3-yard gain. As Hammond's rolling out to his right. Dumps off to O'Day, who almost snagged it with one hand, but we have a flag down.
And that play should work more often than it worked there. It really right of the hash marks from Creek's perspective, you had 2 Smoky Hill defenders and 3 Cherry Creek wide receivers. One of those guys was completely uncovered. Now, of course, it's still a difficult throw to make, but you know, Hammond's rolling out to that side for a reason. And, of course, they're not in man coverage there, so when they send Carlson Tan in motion, they know, Christian Hammond knows he's got a successful play up and coming. Various execution reasons, it just doesn't work out there.
Penalty called against the Bruin, backs him up to 2nd and 17 now. 10-yard penalty on 2nd and 10. So the Bruins out there in the pistol. This ball is flipped right. And Arian Boyd will get back to the original line of scrimmage. Bring up 3rd and long for the Bruins after the 8-yard gain. As Hammond will go under center. Johnson in the offset eye to his left. Play action. Hammond looking to throw. And he does! Into the hands of Quincy Johnson. Looks like ball came to the ground, and now we've got some push-ups. That was an excessive amount of push-ups. I don't know if we can get the replay on the push-ups. So we take a look at what was almost an interception. 4th and 9's coming up for the Bruins.
Well, Benny's going to be ripped now.
Ooh. A 42-yard attempt is coming up for Bowden the Leg Page.
No.
His long on the season is 33. It is up. It has the distance. And it is no good wide to the right. As Page will miss the field goal.
That's a long field goal, Ben. And, of course, he's got the leg. He's Bowden the leg Page, but at 40 yards, accuracy becomes a very big question, and just off by a few hairs there.
Misses his second of the season. Now 5 for 7 from field goal range. He's only missed one extra point this season. So from the 20-yard line, a 1-yard run for Smoky Hill. The Bruins still on top 21-3 in this one.
And Ben, in Cherry Creek football news, players are starting to get some offers. And one player who's gotten an offer, Tyler Tolbert in the secondary, number 9.
Heck yeah.
Of course, he had that big hit to seal. It was the Grandview game. Big hit to seal the Grandview game.
Pass complete. Across the 35, near the 40.
And they've got him in the safety position, of course, because he is really cognizant throughout the entire football game. And I saw it on the last play there, which is why I thought to mention him, right? He did a great job reading the run and meeting it immediately in the hole. Of course, Cherry Creek's D-line was there right with him, but a fantastic job just playing heads up as he always does.
Bowers keeps it himself. Will end up with a gain, and Tolbert's offer from the University of Drake, an FCS program, his first offer, and you know there's more coming.
Certainly expect some more. But yeah, that is a great offer.
To become Bulldog down in Des Moines, and
that's a D1 ball, Ben.
yeah, we know some guys in Iowa. The Cherry Creek to Iowa pipeline. Iowa State is where Miles Purchase is at. Alex Padilla is at the University of Iowa. Athletic director Jason Wilkins is a Hawkeye. So there's always a Cherry Creek connection more often than not when you look at really any given state.
Well, no, what did Principal Selva say last month? 3,900 kids on campus.
Yeah.
You know, there've been, it's been the biggest high school in Colorado since the 1960s. It's been around since 1955. That has a way of creating an alumni network, particularly in football.
Absolutely. Some NFL players have come through the Cherry Creek ranks, now an NFL coach. And a Cherry Creek parent is the newest member of the Broncos Ring of Fame. Until tomorrow, or Sunday rather, when Peyton Manning is inducted. But Mike Shanahan was inducted. Son Kyle attended Cherry Creek High School. And now he's the head coach, the guy in charge over in San Francisco of the 49ers.
That's pretty it's been exciting for us just to root for a Cherry Creek guy, right?
One of the coolest things is they were playing the Broncos in a preseason game, and they had a practice here at Cherry Creek in the Stutler Bowl. And I remember driving in, I saw all these tour buses. I go, why are all these buses here over the summer? And it was the San Francisco 49ers practicing here at Cherry Creek as the ball is batted down to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Ben, if you need a place to practice around these parts,
yeah,
Stutler Bowl is a nice place to practice. It's a nice place to broadcast from, too. I mean, we don't talk about that very much on air, but it really is a privilege to broadcast from a facility as nice as this one. And to be on the same campus as it, to have access to it during, seventh period and stuff, right? So we don't talk about that on air very much, since I suppose it's not very interesting. But
it's always a nice walk.
It's
a refreshing walk to the Stutler Bowl.
Yeah.
Nothing like the Stutler Bowl. 3rd and 10 from the 49. As Bowers looks to throw. His pass is complete. A great reception to Jamal Humphrey. And that will get him not only a new set of downs, but move him just into the red zone. Let's see where the ball spot is. Just shy of the red zone.
You're never dissatisfied with with a reception like that. Wow. So clean.
Brings up 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line as they're looking to get in the end zone for the first time tonight, and a big hit is delivered as Haywood got the carry. And we will most definitely be getting another look at that. And it was Tolbert in there on the hit. Pair of number 9s there.
They call him 220 because although he's 160 pounds, he hits like he's 220.
Oh, Tyler. I don't know if I've ever seen Tolbs do, well, I'd say I would. He has done something like that, and it was during the Grandview game. Wow. Can we get one more, Johnny? Any
Gets
chance?
up like it's nothing.
Yeah, we're going to get the frame by frame. Oh, my goodness.
Scoreboard hasn't been updated, but a team just took a timeout. Cherry Creek, or Smoky Hill.
Just gives us more time to look at Tyler. Wow.
Smoky Hill on the timeout there. Wow.
That was something else, Matthew.
I wonder if...
Oh, and now we have another feed that's delayed. We got another chance to look at it.
Right.
Wow.
Wonder if Drake Football is watching.
Oh, another one. Wow. Good play from Tolbert. Brings up 2nd and 9. Let's check in with Reagan down on the sideline. Reagan, do we have any word on if we think that Marte Russell might make an appearance in the second half?
I don't have any word on that, but my guess would be yes. They've been switching out Hammond and Russell. Usually near the end of the game, it gets to the point where they're switching out every other play, and sometimes they're just leaving Marte in. So I think we could see that, yes.
What have you thought about Christian Hammond's coverage on undoubtedly the biggest receiver on Smoky Hill's team? They've matched him up with Anthony Harris Jr., so not only is he running the offense, but he's got quite the defensive assignment as well.
Yeah, they definitely trust him in there. I mean, he is a very, very athletic player. The basketball game obviously helps him out there with his foot quickness, and I think he's just doing a really good job overall on both sides of the ball, and hopefully we can see him more at cornerback through the rest of this season.
All right, thanks, Reagan. We'll talk to you after the conclusion of quarter number 3. 4th and 8 coming up for Smoky Hill after they kept it on the ground on 3rd down. 4th and 3, rather, coming up now. And offense staying out there.
I respect that decision a lot, Ben.
Bowers looking left, hit as he throws. Ball's deflected, falls incomplete. And a turnover on downs. And in there on the hit, believe it was Henry Lamar. So we'll take another look. That would be Lamar.
That's a reason to get fired up, Ben. Feels good to lay a hit on a quarterback like that if you're Henry Lamar, right? In a key scenario right like that, he was fired up after the play for sure.
First and 10 on the 15 for the Bruins after the turnover on downs, and Hammond gets it from under center, hands it off to Boyd, and about a 7-yard gain for Boyd on first down. So we look like we have the robotics cannon ready to go off, Matthew.
Love the robotics team, Ben. Johnny, can we get a cam on the robotics team?
So we'll keep you updated on the play action. It's a handoff. Short gain will be enough to pick up first down yardage on 2nd and 2. It's wild that thing doesn't only go forwards and backwards; it goes side to side, and it's just controlled with your everyday Xbox controller.
Ben, we're talking about the Cherry Creek robotics team.
Please
here.
tell me more about first, Matthew.
Well, they're the robotics team. They compete in robotics competitions. Their sponsor is Dr. Harrison. Very gifted with the computer programming, the mechanical engineering. I believe they do quite well every year, although I can't speak to their results precisely.
I know more often than not they're at the national championships, where I don't know if it's there every year, but the last time it was in person, it was at, now I have to think the name of the field, the Houston Astros Stadium in Houston. They deck it all out. They have the robotics, the first robotics national championships. Now I have to think about the name of the stadium, but where the Houston Astros play. By the way, Astros in the World Series.
We don't need to talk about that, Ben.
No, we don't.
Flag on the play is going to move Cherry Creek forward 10 or 15.
Thank you. Minute Maid Park. That's what I had. Just to the guys in the booth for that one. The guys down in the truck, rather.
Of course, Ben.
1st and 10 now on the 42. As there's a minute and a half left to go in quarter number 3. As Bruins go on the ground here, it's Jordan Huron.
Also on the ground, this robot.
Matthew's loving it.
Well, you know, Cherry Creek Sports Network, Ben, you know, let's take a little bit of time to talk about the sports at Cherry Creek, which aren't, you know, real sports. Robotics.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate Frisbee. We don't need to talk about the chess club yet, but
coming soon.
They have their match tomorrow against Mountain Vista.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yeah. We'll see how that one goes.
Is Matthew Anderson participating?
I'm not participating.
Oh. Carlson Tan going to get the handoff, and he's got open space to the 35-yard line. 19-yard pickup for Bubba Tan. No, Matthew, back in the day, I did a little bit of robotics down at Campus Middle School. Back then, it was just Legos.
Bubba Tan weaves.
Oh, they're getting ready to shoot it again.
Are they?
They are. The T-shirt has been loaded.
Well, hopefully they do it between plays so we can get it.
1st and 10 on the 35. Inside 20 seconds left to go in the quarter.
Dump that one off to O'Day.
O'Day, far side of the field. He's got lots of speed. We know it. And O'Day is going to get into the end zone for the second time tonight. Touchdown, Bruins.
And that block was not necessary, but Bubba Tan just lays huge block on the defender to secure touchdown for O'Day. I mean, look at this speed, and then Tan's block. Oh.
So you got Tan is leading the way.
Ask the robotics team. They'll tell you Tan has high momentum there. You know, his row is very, very high. That's what the robotics team would tell you.
Bowden comes on for the extra point. Up and good. He is 4 for 4 on the evening. 7 seconds remain in the third quarter. How about that from Bubba Tan? There was no chance that O'Day was being denied that trip to the end zone. Oh, there go. Wow, that one went over the student section. Some high velocity on the T-shirt there.
Well, you know, Ben, you got to adjust the launch angle theta and the launch velocity v naught. It's very complicated calculus.
Is this just? Oh, I thought trigonometry.
Well, you know, you could do a trigonometry, but that's not as precise as the calculus. I suspect this robotics team does it very precise.
So is the unit circle not going to help me here? Unfortunately not.
Well, the unit circle never hurts, right?
7 seconds remain. We're getting ready to send it back down to Reagan Kanabe down on the sideline. And she'll give us our third quarter update. As Bowden's kick will go into the end zone for a touchback. 7 seconds left to go.
I mean, that's not even accounting for the drag effects.
Oh, you're throwing back to honors physical science. I never took physics, so I don't know. More of an AP more of an AP Enviro guy.
That's a good class.
I enjoy it. By the way, broadcast related, there will be a cornhole tournament, a Cherry Creek cornhole tournament broadcasted. It's benefiting charity. We'll have more on that next week.
Sorry, Ben, did you just say we're broadcasting a cornhole tournament?
There'll be more details on that. We're going to send it down to Reagan Kanabi as the Bruins get their fours up for the fourth quarter. Reagan, down to you.
Yeah, Ben, as we were talking before, we are seeing some switching out of players who normally don't play in that position, namely Christian Hammond at quarterback and Marte Russell on defense switching, putting Christian in at corner. And I think this really just shows Coach Logan's experience and trust in the depth of this team. Now, he is really calm under pressure. He knows his game plan, and he's had to do a lot of interesting things this season because of lots of reasons, such as injuries. Last week, we saw our running backs switching out after about every 2 plays. And I think, we were talking before if Marte Russell is going to come in at quarterback. I think we might be seeing that. Hopefully we do. Back up to you, Ben.
Thanks, Reagan. Reagan Kanabi down on the sideline. We'll hear from her more in the fourth quarter. And, of course, she'll have our interview post-game. Final quarter coming up here on the Cherry Creek Sports Network. Bruins lead at 28-3. And the Falcons know something about that score. And there's Tolbert again. Tyler Tolbert is laying it on tonight.
And, Ben, let me ask you a question before I go speak to the guys in the booth next to us. We think Smoky took a timeout, right? The scoreboard at one point said Smoky took a timeout. Now it has it back up that they didn't.
I believe someone took a timeout because we digressed quite a bit. We were looking at Tolbert's hit. So following Tyler Tolbert's, not that he just had, the one before that.
All right.
But I believe so. As yet another run, D'Angelo Haywood. And as Reagan was just talking about, some different people playing some different positions, Hammond's back out there on the bottom of your screen. And looks like he's matched up with Harris Jr. yet again. So bottom of your screen, matchup to watch. You got Hammond with Harris. Ball over the middle is complete, and Hammond will get an assist on the tackle as Humphrey get another long reception. Move them to the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 coming up for the Buffaloes. Still trying to get into the end zone for the first time in the game. They've got a new set of downs in Cherry Creek territory. As Bowers keeps it himself, he's taken out near the 15-yard line. We'll get him another first down. And they'll move the chains yet again. To the 11-yard gain, 1st and 10 on the 17-yard line this time. And flags fly. Looks like we might have a false start coming. And we do. Back them up 5. Put them at the 22-yard line. Which makes it 1st and 15.
Well, Ben, I tried to solve the mystery of the timeouts. I haven't solved it yet.
I formation. Another handoff, stay on the ground for the Buffaloes. It's Haywood, and he'll get a short gain. Second and long will come up for the Buffaloes. Another penalty on Smoky Hill backs them up even farther. They're now on the 30-yard line. Make it 1st and 22. As they look to pass. Complete over the middle. It's that crossing route yet again to Dixon. And he'll get a short gain on the play.
Well, Ben, I was unable to solve it, but for now, we're going to update our scoreboard to say that Smoky Hill does, in fact, have 3 timeouts, even though we thought they called one earlier and the scoreboard said they called one.
So after the short completion to Troydell Dixon Jr., second and 22 comes up for the Buffaloes. And they're met with a sack.
Got a little bit of Black Eyed Peas in the stadium.
I know you're a big fan of the music choice, always.
Always. Look, our Palms team puts together a great playlist.
One of the many things they do, and you'll hear more about that in the new Cherry Creek Palms All-In show coming out soon on CCSN. And another pass is intercepted by the Bruins. And if that's who I think it is, it's Ismail Cece. Now, I may be mistaking. 24 rather than 14. And I'll let you take that one away.
Well, that's Davion Jaramillo, who, gee, he's that's his first interception. Let me put it like that.
Check that again. We got 34, Aiden Kanapke.
Oh, 30. That, yeah. 34, Aiden Kanapke. Yes. Aiden Kanapke.
We both got it wrong, so it's okay.
He's a freshman. Not starting on varsity as a freshman, not terribly surprising. But Tyler Tolbert and Sam Pez are on the bench right now. That's the great thing about, having a lead like this one. You can start to send some of your more unexperienced freshmen out there to get some, playing time. And that's going to allow, players like Aiden Kanapke to excel for a long time. And I'm sure he'll remember his interception as a freshman varsity player.
And as you say that, we can do a quick personnel check. Marte Russell back there under center. As a whole sleeve of second-string guys have checked into the game. And Russell will hand off on first down as Tan's still in there. Gets across the 30 and across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
And number 85, Jacob Kucharski, again, one of those lower string guys. He buys Carlson Tan a good 5 yards with a really nicely laid block. Impressive.
Ismail Cece's out there. Looks like our return guy, Jordan Huron, rather. I was looking for Larson. First 10 on the 38, 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter as Cece went into motion, got a little bit of a jump pass, and he'll get a short gain. Now, Matthew, I'd love to ask you, we'll recap this week at Creek real quick. Field hockey lost in the opening round of the state field hockey tournament. They're unfortunately out. Boys soccer lost in the opening round of their tournament. Their game included 2 overtimes, and then PKs ultimately decided it. They came out on, fortunately, the losing end of that shootout. But what an exciting week here at the Stutler Bowl, and I know you were down in the other box, and you were running the scoreboard for that one.
I was running the scoreboard. I was doing the public address. That was a fun time. It's been really fun to cover the men's soccer team because they're so good. And they're just a great group of guys. And, of course, 16 seeded in the playoffs. They're a strong team.
If I'm not mistaken, 16 2 years in a row.
Yes.
And last year it was the Cinderella story that got them, or not even last year, last spring, just about 6 months ago. The Cinderella story that got them all the way into the state championship as the last seed to make the tournament in the season C COVID year. And now the tournament re-expanded, and now a whole bunch of teams all have a chance for the state title. State field hockey is going to wrap up on Monday, and then outdoor sports, aside from football, will be done. This cross country wrapping up tomorrow. Their state championship will have coverage on the Twitter account at Cherry Creek SN as CC gets that reception.
Well, the Cherry Creek girls team is, they were number 1 in the nation last year. I think they're number 1 in the nation now. The rankings are a little bit weird, but they're going to be competing for a number 1 in the nation spot. So even though their CHASA sanctioned season is over, that group of 7 or 11 girls or however many it is who continue to train, they're going to keep training probably all the way, possibly even through December, right up until the track season. Just trying to get that number 1 ranking in the nation, and they're more than capable of it. They have so much depth and skill on their team.
Matthew, if you had to give a pitch to tell people to go down to Colorado Springs tomorrow morning and see that race, what would you say as CC makes another reception and inside the red zone?
I mean, I'd say, if you're a fan of cross country, this is a race you really can't miss, right? I mean, you have some of the best athletes in the nation, one of the best girls cross country teams in the nation, about to race their hardest race of the year. And of course, part of the Cherry Creek community it's just great to be down there and support them. They've worked really hard all season and really since the summer. I mean, one thing about cross country is these girls start training as early as like June 1st.
As soon as track season ends.
Yeah, right. And of course, they train through track season. So it's really like they just work, unendingly, right? And it would be great to go down there and support their work if, that's something you're a fan of, right?
And some history potentially up for grabs if your name is Riley Stewart, and it's all going to be a great morning, really, tomorrow morning. I know the girls race right about 9 o'clock. I think the boys are after that. And it's going to be great down at Norris Penrose Event Center in Colorado Springs. And we'll have you updated with that on Cherry Creek Sports Network and all of the channels of social media. 2nd and 3 from the 9-yard line coming up for the Bruins. Offset eye, Russell rolling out, looking to throw, and it's complete. Touchdown, Bruins, and Luke Shinnefield has his first touchdown of the season. Extra point, up and good. Quincy Johnson came in there with some speed, though, trying to block it.
Yeah, he's been in there a few times. No match for Bowden the leg page. Of course, his holder, Shreya Sriram, and his long snapper, Brady Rats. Lethal duo.
Brady,
Trio.
The arms, Rats, and Shreyas, the hands, Shriram? A
I
little
like
bit of
that.
a stretch. A little bit of a stretch?
Well, maybe. I mean,
Shreyas is definitely the hands.
well, in that case, then, Brady's got to be the arms, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Brady's a 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remarkable. That's one of those positions that's like really, truly a skill position. I mean, all these are, but it's kind of like goalie in soccer, right?
Yeah. Want to talk about a goalie. If you saw the game Tuesday night, that Fossil Ridge goalie, he was something else, man. And goalies really aren't expected to save as many PKs as he did. So Alex Rad is going to come on for the kickoff.
Brother of Brady Rats.
Special teams family. It's brought in about the 10-yard line. And here's some speed. Cutting away to the near sideline, Dixon Jr. as Rads is trying to stop him. And there's Brady Rads with the tackle.
I mean, talk about a hole. And you say it was Dixon Jr. He found it. Of course, led to a great opportunity for our boy Alex Rads, number 42, to make that tackle. You always love to see the kicker make a tackle, and you love to see great returns. Dixon Jr. there, great return. That is to say, his full name is Troydell Dixon Jr.
You have to mention Pat McAfee, just because we talk about kickers and tackles, and that guy, as far as kickers go, could tackle unlike anyone else. And he was not built to tackle. Colts legend right there.
Yeah, well, I think what separated Pat McAfee was, of course, that he had no forethought. You know,
That guy was all swag.
Yeah.
100% swag.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
And now the Pat McAfee show every day.
I've never listened.
It's so good.
I'll take your word for it. This is an interesting opportunity for some of Cherry Creek's younger players here. You've got a bunch of players out there for Cherry Creek who are young, a bit more inexperienced. This is next year's and 2 years from now. That's what the defense is going to be. Here they are, kind of really on the field for one of their first times in a real varsity game, playing as a unit, trying to work things out, trying to make an important stop here.
And 2 or 3 years ago, we were watching guys like Tyler Tolbert, Charles McEver get in at the end of games, and now those are your starters 2 and 3 years later.
Exactly. Ben, we talked about college recruitments. We talked about Tyler's recruitment to Drake. He's not committed yet. A couple of commitments, Coyote to CSU.
Yeah.
And we can't forget George Fitzpatrick headed off to the Ohio State University.
Thanks for getting that. Thanks for getting the B.
Yep.
It's expected.
It's the most important part. He's on the offensive line, of course, not out there now. But just what an asset he's been to Cherry Creek for so long as just such a strong blocker. He's going to be playing in the All-American game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a piece coming out about George and every other participant in the game coming up on NBC Sports Network.
I mean, how crazy. He's going to be on national television.
That is remarkable.
Yes.
Really, really remarkable. Fourth and 3. See where the spot is. And no signal from the officials yet. I don't believe they'd bring out the chains to measure. And they're just going to give it right back to the Bruins. Turnover on downs.
Well, that one looked pretty unambiguous. Not a conversion.
2:27 man's in the game. This is a good time to give you a friendly reminder that any future Cherry Creek games in the postseason will be over on the NFHS network. Grab your subscriptions. Make sure you're all ready to go. Top 4 seeds in the playoff, I believe, have a bye week, so it may be 2 weeks before the next game, depending on where Cherry Creek lands. But make sure you grab that NFHS network subscription so you can catch all the playoff action right here. Same crew, get a look the same, just on a different website.
Well, I'd be very surprised if Cherry Creek lands anywhere south of
Top 4.
Yeah, really 2. I mean, if you secure the win here, generally when you're in those higher positions and you secure a win, you tend to hold your position unless someone ahead of you does, then someone ahead of you loses, which you can check the Valor results now. Of course, from time to time they do play with the seeding.
And when you think about, you have 4 things that account into what you get in the playoff. You get the coaches poll, you get the JASA RPI, that number that we discussed earlier, that number that's about 0.5, 0.6, depending on who you are. You have the Max Preps ranking, which is a different formula, and then you have the Eric Packard rankings, which is another formula. Cherry Creek number 2 in the Max Preps ranking, 2 in the coaches poll. I believe it was about 4 in the RPI, and Packard ranking has not been updated for this week, but between 2 to nowhere outside of 4 is safe to assume.
Yeah, generally your average number is going to be a little bit higher than where you end up at these higher seeds. So if they were to, if they were to be ranked 2, 2, 3, and 4, for example, that'd be an average number of about 2.5. What it? 8, 11.
Just about.
2.25. Yeah, so they probably just end up in 2.
By the way, Valor Christian number 1, leading, I believe, the number 9 Thunder Ridge.
2.75. My bad. They just end up in 2.
Yeah.
So the reality is, Cherry Creek is probably expecting
a top 4 seed, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much statistically guaranteed at this point. And the thing is, those results, especially towards the end of the season, tend to be really highly correlated with each other. So if Cherry Creek is 2 in the coaches poll and 2 in Max Preps, I'd put my money on them being a 2 seed.
Those brackets and matchups should come out on Sunday, if not Monday. 38-14, Valor Christian leads Thunder Ridge at the current moment. And Smoky Hill gets into the end zone for the first time tonight after a botched handoff.
That's a tough learning moment for a less experienced Cherry Creek offense out there getting some practice.
So Ryan Kasperick was in there at quarterback, his first appearance of the season. And Smoky Hill now gets a defensive touchdown. 36 seconds remain in the game.
And Kasperick, the senior, kind of been a little bit further down the depth chart for a while. They're going to put him in here, and you know what? That's just a learning opportunity.
Extra point is good, makes it 35-10 with 30 seconds left to go. That does guarantee one thing. Cherry Creek will be in the victory formation when they get the ball back coming up after this kickoff.
Terribly good point, Ben.
And it'll be interesting to see who gets the honors of being under center in the victory formation, because you have Kasperick, the senior quarterback. You got Hammond, who led this team all through the regular season to what looks like in about 36 seconds will be an 8-2 regular season, ranked number 2 in the coaches poll. And all in all, pretty good regular season if you want to recap it.
Yeah, 2 losses to Arapahoe. That just wasn't a good game. Both of your running backs were out. You had a loss to Chandler. Very close game. Chandler's top 20 nationwide.
If you want to talk about something real quick, because Chandler's in Arizona, the RPI handles out-of-state opponents in a special way. If it's not a state that's touching Colorado, doesn't touch an RPI. So if Creek were to play a team, Texas, California, anywhere really east, doesn't count. Because Arizona is somewhat a bordering state, if you think about the 4 corners, it does count in the RPI. And because of how competitive Chandler's schedule is, their winning percentage and their opponent's winning percentage are both so high that it was such a good loss to take and better than any in-state loss Cherry Creek could have taken. That's going to help them big time. 24 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, win or lose, it's that's the weird thing about RPI. If you just play better teams, even if you still lose just as bad or worse, you still get rewarded. So our RPI is a really interesting metric. We could discuss it on the CCSN analytics show, but for now, we'll leave it to the Bruins and their victory formation, and that's going to be it.
And under center for that was number 18, Bowden Page. Did I see something wrong? Or was Bowden under center for that? That is Bowden Page, who just took the kneel. Have you ever seen anything like it?
Well, he's a senior. He's played for Cherry Creek so well these past 4 years.
Never had an offensive snap in his life.
He's been so dependable. You know what? You got to reward
Hats
the leaders
off,
on the
man.
team.
Hats
right?
off.
Right.
So Bowden the leg Page wraps up the regular season. Cherry Creek finishes at 8-2, and the final score 35-10 in the final game of the regular season. So we'll keep you updated on where this team lands in the postseason, how you can watch further. Just make sure you keep an eye on everything at Cherry Creek SN, Instagram, Twitter. There'll be some information on Facebook and the Cherry Creek High School website as well. We're going to wait for Reagan Kanabe to grab our post-game interview, and then we'll wrap things up right here on CCSN. But the Bruins get the win in Week 10 of the regular season, 35-10 over the Buffaloes from Smoky Hill. I believe Reagan's going to grab Christian Hammond was the plan. And before that, we can just enjoy some music from the wonderful Smoky Hill marching band that we've heard all night long.
A little bit of Lady Gaga. Can't go wrong with Lady Gaga.
It's like we might have to wait for Reagan for just a moment for the boys to finish up their talk with Coach Logan as they do after every game. But yeah, final reminder, get that NFHS Network subscription if you want to see the playoffs. That is the only way you can see the playoffs right here on Cherry Creek SN. Also want to take another moment to thank all of our veterans today and every day, those watching at home, those who are in attendance tonight. Always thank you for your service, for making the sacrifice to our country. And it was a privilege to have the opportunity to honor them tonight. And yeah, just another reminder, state cross country coming up tomorrow. And then we're pretty much, football will be the only thing left here at Cherry Creek. Oh, volleyball. You have volleyball. Volleyball just wrapped up their league tournament, so there's got regionals coming up next weekend. Then the state bracket will come out. So you have volleyball, football, cross country, and that will be regular season.
We're getting excited here. Can't quite see it on any of our camera angles, but T-shirt launch.
That could have made it into the booth. That had the potential.
Yeah. Oh, it had the potential energy, all right. I mean, you know, if you look at it, it's Delta U, right? So.
Oh my gosh.
Tennis as well. State champions.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, Casey Dennis was on the Bruins Take podcast this week. You can find that wherever you listen to your podcast. Spotify, Apple, Google, literally anywhere there's a podcast, we're on it. So the Bruins Take podcast. Not George. I'm reading four things at once here. Casey Dennis was on it of boys tennis, and we got some other segments on there as well, so give it a listen this weekend. And yeah, just waiting for Christian Hammond. Man, it took me 10 weeks, and I still can't get it right.
I'm not sure if we've mentioned men's golf at all throughout the season either.
We have not. They finished second at state behind great performance from senior Jonathan Trigg, Charlie Flaxbeard, Andre Dumontelli, Pratham Parmar, the four that went to the state tournament.
They're
very
very
good.
impressive group
Very,
of young
very,
golfers.
very good. they're all very good. Happy. I got the opportunity to spend a lot of time around those guys, in a little bit of a coaching role, and those guys are such hard workers. And those 4 that went to state are really something else. And they've got a lot more in their future besides playing golf on Sunday afternoons. They're playing golf. They'll be playing golf on Sunday afternoons on TV. I'll tell you that. Not down at your local municipal golf course. You'll see those guys on Golf Channel.
Well, and they have the U.S. Amateur Championship.
Yeah, Jonathan Trigg went to the U.S. Junior Am over the summer, which is the most prestigious event in junior golf. Tiger Woods won that event multiple times. Phil Mickelson won that event. Jordan Spieth won that event. It's just an honor to be a part of that event is really the takeaway that Trigg had.
Really is.
It is the most prestigious event. I know he played in the IMG World Championship at DeLaurel in Florida a couple summers ago. Those guys have a heck of a resume.
I expect nothing less from the Cherry Creek men's golf team.
Oh, there's a look at Shreya Sriram, the holder. What a guy. Really just what a guy. As we await Christian Hammond, Reagan Kanabi down on the sideline. They're coming, folks. Thanks for sticking with us for the postgame. As they will get closer and closer to the track so we can get you better and better audio. Ah, perfect. Okay. They're working their way, slowly but surely. When you're Christian Hammond and you play on both sides of the ball, you can have a moment. All right. They have made their way to their spot. And Reagan, we are ready to send it down to you when Christian's ready. Down to you, Reagan.
Hey, Ben. I'm here with Christian Hammond. Christian, your team scored 14 points in the first 2 minutes before you even took that first snap. How did they help you out tonight?
They helped out a lot. When you don't have to step on the field and already be up by 2 scores, it just really helps and gives your team a different kind of confidence.
And we saw you in there at cornerback because Marte was in at quarterback in the previous drive. And you played there last season. What's it like to be back out on defense?
It's real fun. I like it. I enjoy it a lot. But it's definitely different from not playing it like as much in the summer and then the whole season and then being back out there. But it was a lot of fun.
All right, well, best of luck to you in the playoffs coming up. And we're excited to be out here whenever those playoff games come out.
Thanks, Reagan. Thanks, Christian. Congratulations on the win. Once again, Cherry Creek finishes the regular season at 8-2. Playoff seeding will be coming out soon. We'll have you join us on the NFHS network. And Matthew, Johnny, about to say it for the final time, doing Cherry Creek football on YouTube. For Jonathan Varghese, Matthew Anderson, the entire CCSN crew, I'm Benjamin Paris signing off. Have a great Halloween weekend, and we'll see you on the NFHS network for the postseason.
tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Like, oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Let's get up.
I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out, and losing our control.
Fill up my cup. Mazel tov. Look at her dancing. Just take it off. Let's paint the town. We'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. 'Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel it. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up.
Let's live it up.
I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it.
Smash it.
Like oh my God. Like oh my God. Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's get up. Fill up my cup.
Drink.
Mazel tov. Look at her dancing.
Move it, move
Just
it.
take it up. Let's paint the town. Paint the town. We'll shut it down. Shut it down. Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. And do it. And do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Here we come. Here we go. We gotta rock. Easy come. Easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot. Body rock. Rockin', don't stop. Round and round. Up and down. Around the clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. Get with us. You know what we say. Party every day, party every day. And I'm feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good, good night. That tonight's